The Ravens are finally starting to show signs of life after that rough start. And you can feel the shift in the air when you look at A1-5 beginning to the season. It's not just about clawing your way back to 5-5, it's bigger than that. You have to consider the AFC landscape in its entirety. This conference is tight. Every team is fighting, and there's no room for thinking, okay, mission accomplished. Back in it? Back in what exactly? Because starting slow like they did means every win from here on out has to be earned against teams who aren't just sitting back, hoping to coast into the playoffs. The Colts, the Broncos, even the Jaguars. They all have a stake in this. Across the West, the Chargers are lurking, and in the North, Pittsburgh is right there, keeping pace. So hitting 5-5 isn't some magical turning point. It's just the beginning of the next phase, and that phase is brutal. The schedule ramps up immediately after the 10th game, and the stretch that follows 6 or 7 weeks of high stakes is going to test every ounce of focus and discipline this team has left. And let's not sleep on the Patriots, of all teams. They are leading the AFC East right now. When people talk about Buffalo, it's easy to get caught up in their story, but the Patriots have quietly won 8 straight games. That's no fluke, and it shows just how competitive this division is from a big picture standpoint. Yes, things are looking better for Baltimore. The defense is playing solid football, and that's the backbone of any Ravens squad. But offense still has room to improve, especially when it comes to red zone execution and some consistency up front. At the core, though, the main goal remains crystal clear: get to the playoffs. Hitting 5-5 is progress, but it's far from the finish line. Every game moving forward must be treated as if the season hangs in the balance, because in the AFC, the competition is fierce, deep, and relentless. New blood is rising, and they're ready to make their mark. Teams that once followed the shadow of the Bills, Ravens, Steelers, and Chiefs are now saying, "It's our turn." No one can be taken for granted. The early 2000s vibe is creeping back in. Tom Brady's Patriots, Peyton Manning's Colts, and yes, even Peyton Manning's Broncos. Those teams dominated. They set the tone, and now we're seeing a new generation of challengers with that same mentality. Baltimore's defense has shown over the last month that it can respond under pressure. The early season woes, being among the worst in scoring defense and near the bottom in both pass and rush defense, are now behind them. Since that Rams game and the bye week, there's been a noticeable shift. The mindset is aggressive, focused on being the instigator rather than the reactor. Players like Draymond Jones have embraced this mentality, stepping into games with an assertive presence. That sets the tone for the rest of the unit. After the Browns game, the discussion around momentum was fascinating. The crowd was electric, the stadium buzzing. And yet Jones was clear: the energy didn't create momentum, it revealed the momentum that was already there. Leadership from Roquan Smith has been crucial in maintaining focus and ensuring the team's core principles aren't lost amid excitement or distraction. This is the Ravens' defense taking ownership, dictating the pace, and forcing opponents to react. Confidence is rising, and with it comes the kind of consistency that can carry a team through the grueling stretch ahead. It's impressive to watch the transformation on the field early in the season. Every camera pen showed a team struggling with injuries and low morale, playing reactionary football, always a step behind. Now, the Ravens are the aggressors. They are winning one-on-ones more often, making key stops, forcing turnovers, and establishing dominance where it counts. Draymond Jones has internalized this mindset, executing at a high level and leading by example, while Kyle Hamilton continues to be a force in the secondary. The overall picture is promising: improvements in passing and rushing defense, better third down conversions, and a unit that is finally taking control instead of hoping to survive the play. Week after week, Baltimore has been proving that it can execute under pressure, even if the offenses they face are not elite. Rookie quarterbacks and inexperienced units have been handled decisively, which builds confidence, sharpens discipline, and prepares them for the higher stakes matchups that lie ahead. It's clear that this Ravens team is embracing the identity of a forceful, confident squad. One of the biggest takeaways has been how the defense now controls the narrative rather than reacting to it. Games that would have been losses earlier in the season are now opportunities for the team to assert itself. They are dominating situations that require precise execution, staying disciplined, and making opponents uncomfortable. That shift in mentality has transformed how the team approaches each matchup, giving them the composure needed to navigate the AFC North, a division that will never be easy. Pittsburgh, Cincinnati, Cleveland, they all remain threats, And history shows that no team can ever be written off. The Ravens have learned that every game demands focus, preparation, and adaptability. And speaking of Pittsburgh, the Steelers are certainly still a factor. They may be facing quarterback questions with Aaron Rodgers injured, potentially relying on Mason Rudolph, but the threat remains real. The Ravens have to stay sharp because the division is tight. And while current momentum is with Baltimore, any lapse could be costly. The schedule is deceptive. Home stands are golden opportunities. But the quality of competition, injuries, and unexpected twists can quickly erase any advantage. It's a constant test of discipline, resilience, and execution. Baltimore's ability to maintain their focus and continue their upward trajectory will define whether they can capitalize on the opportunities in front of them. The Ravens' recent 5-5 milestone is a signal, not a guarantee. The team has demonstrated growth and resilience, especially on defense. But the road ahead requires consistent execution and focus. Every week presents challenges from playoff-caliber opponents, rivalries that carry extra intensity, and the natural ebb and flow of football momentum. This Ravens team is rediscovering its identity, asserting itself in games and proving that it can respond under pressure. But the margin for error is slim. The AFC is wide open, competitive, and hungry, and Baltimore must continue to earn its place through grit, discipline, and a relentless approach on both sides of the ball. Every victory from here on out isn't just a win in the record books, it's a statement, a signal that the Ravens are not just back in the standings, but back in mindset. The improvements in defensive execution, confidence, and aggression are tangible. The offensive side still has work to do, but the foundation is strong. The challenge moving forward is to maintain this focus, avoid complacency, and take full advantage of every matchup, every opportunity, and every moment of momentum that presents itself. The Ravens have shown they can adapt, respond, and assert control. Now, the next step is sustaining it, building on it, and ensuring that every game counts in the hunt for the playoffs and beyond. Looking ahead, the Ravens' path through the rest of the season is full of pivotal matchups that could define not just their playoff positioning, but the perception of this team as a legitimate contender. The AFC North is always unforgiving. Every team in this division has its own identity, its own set of challenges, and every game is essentially a playoff-level contest. Baltimore may have climbed back to 5-5, but they are far from running away with the division. Pittsburgh, despite quarterback uncertainties, remains a formidable obstacle. The Steelers have historically found ways to compete deep into the season, and even with Mason Rudolph at the helm, experience shows that they can surprise. Then there's Cincinnati, always a thorn in the Ravens' side when Jamar Chase is involved, and Cleveland, which has its own talent and unpredictability to complicate Baltimore's schedule. This stretch is not a cakewalk. Home stands are golden opportunities, but they are also traps if the Ravens fail to maintain focus. The margin for error is minimal, and history teaches that even the smallest lapse in concentration can be exploited at the highest levels of competition. Despite these challenges, the Ravens are showing encouraging signs. The defense has evolved from a unit struggling to stay competitive into one that forces opponents to react to their presence. Aggression, discipline, and confidence have become hallmarks of this group. Players like Draymond Jones have embraced leadership roles, setting the tone with their intensity and execution. Kyle Hamilton continues to dominate in coverage and in the back end, creating a secondary that is not just reactive, but assertive. Turnovers are becoming more frequent, third down stops more consistent, and red zone resistance stronger. The difference from early in the season is stark. Where once the Ravens were tentative and reactionary, now they dictate pace and force mistakes. This transformation is more than statistical, it's psychological. Confidence breeds momentum, and momentum fuels performance. The Ravens are discovering that when they control the narrative, they can dictate games instead of merely surviving them offensively. While there's still work to do, the Ravens are benefiting from this defensive resurgence. There's a noticeable lift when the defense makes key stops and creates opportunities. The offense is finding rhythm in stretches, even if execution in critical moments can still fluctuate. Maintaining consistency will be key against teams like the Patriots, who are riding 8 straight wins. Every snap matters. Each series has the potential to swing momentum and test the Ravens' ability to remain composed under pressure. A rookie quarterback, an unfamiliar defensive scheme, or an unexpected adjustment by the opponent can all become game changers. Baltimore's ability to read situations, respond quickly, and capitalize on defensive success is essential. They are no longer reacting out of necessity. They are playing with intent, strategy, and purpose. The challenge is sustaining that mindset against both top-tier competition and unpredictable divisional rivals. Momentum remains a fickle force in football, and the Ravens know this better than most. A single play, a single mistake, or a brilliant opponent can swing the tide in seconds. That's why leadership and discipline are so critical. Roquan Smith has become a stabilizing influence, reinforcing the core principles and ensuring the defense operates with clarity and purpose. Draymond Jones' performance isn't just about personal excellence. It's about amplifying the collective confidence of the unit. Execution, communication, and mental toughness have become the pillars that support this Ravens squad. The offensive unit benefits indirectly from this stability as well, as defensive stops and turnovers create field position and scoring opportunities. Football is a game of small advantages, and Baltimore is starting to stack them week after week. The remaining schedule tests every aspect of the team. Home games against Jets, Bengals, and division rivals will demand precision, preparation, and focus. Pittsburgh, with their unpredictable streaks, will be a measuring stick for Baltimore's consistency. Away contests against playoff-caliber teams will require the Ravens to maintain composure in hostile environments, adapt to opposing schemes, and execute under duress. Injuries, fatigue, and mental pressure all loom as potential disruptors. Yet, the Ravens' recent transformation suggests they are up to the challenge. The combination of a resurgent defense, incremental offensive improvements, and a growing team identity creates the potential for sustained success. What makes this stretch so compelling is not just the results but the narrative arc. The Ravens started the season on the brink, and now they are steadily climbing, reshaping their identity in real time. Early season losses were painful but instructive, revealing weaknesses that have since been addressed. The team has embraced a mindset of aggressor, dictating play and capitalizing on opponents' mistakes. Turnovers, one-on-one dominance, and strategic discipline have all improved, and the psychological shift is palpable. Players are confident, focused, and unified under a philosophy of controlled aggression. This mental toughness will be tested as they face the best the AFC has to offer in the weeks ahead. Baltimore's position is stronger than it was, but there is no room for complacency. Every remaining game matters. The Patriots are not an easy test. Pittsburgh is a constant threat, and Cincinnati and Cleveland remain dangerous, even with home field advantage. Every snap is contested. Success will depend on consistent execution, preparation, and the ability to thrive under pressure. This Ravens team has the talent, the coaching, and the mindset to make it happen, but they must sustain their growth, maintain discipline, and resist the temptation to ease off, even when momentum seems to favor them. Before we dive in, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Your support keeps us bringing you the latest news on the Baltimore Ravens, and hey, drop your take in the comments below. We want to hear from the flock. The NFL rumor mill is heating up, and this time, all eyes are turning toward Baltimore. Whispers around the league suggest that the Ravens, a team always looking to make bold moves, might be plotting a surprising bid for one of the most talked about quarterbacks in recent drafts, Drake May. While nothing has been confirmed, sources close to the situation hint that Baltimore's front office has quietly been making calls and exploring options that could shake the quarterback landscape. May, known for his poise under pressure and ability to extend plays, has been linked to several teams throughout the season, but the Ravens' connection has raised more than a few eyebrows. Baltimore has long been considered a fortress for quarterbacks, given their strategic coaching staff and history of developing talent. The possibility of May joining that mix has sent fans and analysts into a frenzy, speculating about what his arrival could mean for the team's offensive identity. Insiders claim that Baltimore's interest isn't just surface-level curiosity. Discussions reportedly involve multiple avenues, from draft day trades to potential player exchanges, indicating that the Ravens are serious about making a splash. The notion of pairing May's athleticism with Baltimore's evolving offensive schemes has ignited conversations about a potential powerhouse in the AFC. While it's all rumor for now, the sheer idea of May donning the purple and black has created a buzz that's impossible to ignore. Even rival teams are said to be monitoring the situation closely, aware that the Ravens could shift the balance of power if they secure a quarterback of May's caliber. Social media has lit up with fan reactions, ranging from excitement to skepticism, fueling the speculation and creating a whirlwind of anticipation around Baltimore. No official statements have been released, but the murmurs suggest that the Ravens' decision could come sooner, rather than later, leaving the football world bracing for what might be one of the most shocking quarterback developments in recent memory as the rumor grows. Analysts are already dissecting what MAYE's skill set would bring to Baltimore's offense, imagining the deep connections, clutch throws, and game-changing mobility that could redefine the team's approach. For now, it's all whispers, hints, and what-ifs, but one thing is clear: if these rumors hold any weight, the Ravens might just be plotting one of the boldest quarterback moves of the season. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay in the loop with exclusive news on our Baltimore Ravens, make sure to subscribe and hit that like button. We'd love to hear what the flock thinks. Drop your thoughts in the comments. See you in the next one.